And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So please hit subscribe, watch, comment, keep those comments coming, and share with your friends, because the stupidity, the insanity, the chaos, it's not going away. Look, on Saturday night, the United States bombed Iran's 3 major nuclear sites. And while we knew that this was potentially coming, there's major, and when I say major, I mean major chaos happening right now in Congress. Reports came out that certain Republicans were informed before the attack, but that zero, Democrats were told or included. Ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, Democrat Representative Jim Hines, he says, this is crazy, he says that he learned about the strike on Iran via social media. Play that clip.
Congressman, thanks very much for being here. As a member of the Gang of Eight, you are, of course, one of them. You typically would get a briefing before a significant U.S. military engagement. You and your Democratic colleagues were not, as we understand it, while your Republican colleagues were. Can you explain when and how you learned about this?
Yeah, look, I learned about this strike last night on Twitter, which, as you point out, is an uncomfortable thing for the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee, particularly given the fact that the whole premise here is that something changed, right? That, Prime Minister Netanyahu made reference to new intelligence. There was some mention of it this morning. As a member of the Gang of Eight, you might think that for something this consequential, we would be informed of any change in intelligence. And by the way, I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact that that an offensive attack against a foreign nation is something that the Constitution reserves to the Congress of the United States. So bad enough that we weren't informed, but, unconstitutional that we didn't have the opportunity to debate and speak as the representatives of the people on what is one of the more consequential foreign policy things that this country has done in a long time.
Yeah. I get his point. Still just not correct. Article 2 of the Constitution absolutely permits Trump to have done what he did. We're going to get more into that in just about a second. But I want to draw your attention to Mark Levin, who tried to claim, and this is so wrong, he tried to claim that Democrats are the enemy within and are seeing this attack as an opportunity to exploit. Play that clip.
And so there they are, the reprobates, the miscreants, the malcontents, starting with AOC and Bernie Sanders, 2 people who hate the Constitution and hate the Republic, or they wouldn't be Marxist Islamists, would they? So they say the president violated the War Powers Act, which was passed in 1973, and my guest, John, you and I are going to discuss at some length. It was violated. He must be impeached. He's a dictator. Our military just pulled off something that is astonishing. Just saved the world, the entire world. And by the way, that includes the United States, from a nuclear Iran. And the Democrats see this as an opportunity they believe to exploit. They're the enemy within. They are the enemy within.
Terrible thing to say, especially there are mixed feelings. So Mark, learn to read. I know you're a smart guy. You got to learn to read. First of all, there are many Democrats that believe Trump was absolutely right to do what he did and are siding him. And there are a half dozen or more Republicans that are more vocal than even AOC in regard to arguing that Trump should not have done what he did. Now, yes, it's true. AOC called for Trump's impeachment on Saturday night. Let me show you what she said. In it, she turns around and she writes, "The president's disastrous decision to bomb Iran without authorization is a grave violation of the Constitution and congressional war powers. He has impulsively risked launching a war that may ensnare us for generations. It is absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment." Now, let me go on to say this. As I said in my Substack, if it's war, where's Congress? I'm not here to play partisan games. I've been around Trump. I've seen how decisions are made, impulsively, instinctively, and often with a gut feeling that somehow turns out to be right and wrong at the same time. But in this case, the operation seems to have achieved its objective. So one of the few times I'm going to actually agree with Mark Levin. All right. Trump achieved the goal. Now, let's not confuse tactical success with strategic clarity, because that, my friends, is what Congress is for. Now, let me go on to show you this. Representative Mike Lawler, he said that Democrats are being hypocritical. Play that clip.
And ultimately, the president made a decisive decision, and I fully support it. To my colleagues who are saying it is unconstitutional, where were they when Barack Obama struck Libya? Where were they when he struck Syria or Pakistan or Yemen? They were nowhere, because the hypocrisy of this is just glaring. The fact is, the president, through Article 2, as well as through multiple AUMFs, has the authority to make this type of limited strike. If we are to go to war, yes, of course, Congress would have to be involved. But it has been clear through prior administrations, Republican and Democrat, that the president has the authority to take this action. The president utilized that authority, and he was right to do so, given the threat that has been posed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, even Rudy Giuliani, he jumped into the act, saying that AOC should be tried for treason because of her post. Play that clip.
I find what the Democrats are doing, they want an impeachment. They should be tried for treason. American military personnel are right now in harm's way coming back from that strike. They're in harm's way all over the Middle East, and they're condemning the president.
Right, you're referring to
taking action against the country that wants to annihilate us.
Right,
how much justification do you need this? They've wanted to annihilate us for 40 years.
Right, Congressman, you're referring to Congresswoman AOC, who's now calling for President Trump's impeachment. People seem to forget.
Well, first of all, he really isn't a congressman unless I got confused somewhere down the line. The fact that Newsmax even puts Rudy Giuliani on television is one of the funniest things of all time. But you know what? I also write in my Substack, if it's war, where's Congress? This is where the system is supposed to work. Trump's administration, for better or for worse, made a call, and they executed a military action to eliminate what it called a grave threat. But now is the time to return to the balance of powers that defines our democracy. Congress must assert its authority, not as a check on the president. No, stop this bullshit. And I mean it, AOC and others, not as a check on the president, but as a partner in protecting the nation. That's what you are there for. But no, the partisanship, it's not going to stop. Senator Adam Schiff, he then agreed with AOC, literally saying that the attack is unconstitutional. Play that clip.
In terms of, is there anything positive to come out of it? Yes. I mean, the destruction of these facilities is a positive in the sense that it will set back Iran's program. And look, this is a nefarious regime that is the preeminent state sponsor of terror. It should have never been pursuing a nuclear program. But it is very possible, and I think we have to anticipate, Iran now kicks out any inspectors. It leaves the non-proliferation treaty. And if it wasn't in a sprint for a bomb, it is now going to engage in a sprint for the bomb. So a lot of uncertainty. Finally, this was not constitutional, was not lawful in the absence of a declaration by Congress. And so the administration should have come to Congress. We will have a vote on a war powers resolution. But there's a reason to bring this to Congress, and it is you want the Congress bought in. You want the American people bought in on an action this substantial that could lead to a major outbreak of war.
Look, let me be clear. As we now know, some Republicans, as I said before, are critical of Trump attacking Iran. Let me show you what Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on Saturday night. On Saturday night, literally, as this thing was taking place, every time America is on the verge of greatness, we get involved in another foreign war. There would not be bombs falling on the people of Israel if Netanyahu had not dropped bombs on the people of Iran first. Israel is a nuclear armed nation. This is not our fight. Peace is the answer. I'll tell you something. She's one strange individual because the fighting with Israel and Iran has been going on for a very long time. And meanwhile, Representative Thomas Massie, who has received a lot of criticism from Trump, he explained that his discontent is because Trump promised that he would put America first. Play that clip.
Process.
Well, you heard from Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader, the senator, say it was a bad week for the isolationists. He was talking about Tucker Carlson and he was talking about Steve Bannon. Do you think that the president is making a choice here, or is he trying to have it both ways? Both saying, I'm going to please the hawks of the party by bombing, but then I'm going to say I want a peace deal and make the isolationists happy by saying, you know, I'm not committing to anything more than one and done.
Well, I'll concede this. It was a good week for the neocons in the military-industrial complex who want war all the time. I wouldn't call my side of the MAGA base isolationists. We are exhausted. We are tired from all of these wars, and we're non-interventionists. I mean, this was one of the promises. I mean, are you going to call President Trump's campaign an isolationist campaign? What he promised us was we would put America first.
So let me ask you this. You now have Marjorie Taylor Greene. You also have Representative Thomas Massie saying things a whole lot worse than Adam Schiff or Democrats. How come you don't hear Mark Levin? How come you don't hear Rudy Colludi, drunken Giuliani, screaming for treason, to have them arrested and charged with treason? How come that only applies to if you're a Democrat? Partisanship. Of course, there are Republicans who agree with Trump. Scott Jennings, of course, said that the attack was a de-escalation. Wish to God that the guy would know what that word means. Play the clip.
And that we end up seeing a back and forth and war moving forward.
This is not an escalation. This is a de-escalation.
Well, Trump promised escalation.
This is not
Trump promised escalation.
Ever Iranian bunker busting bombs is not an escalation.
Because well, she said President Trump promised us peace. I ask you, can we have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon?
Well, we had a deal, and
you're litigating the past.
I'm not litigating the past.
Can we have peace if they have a nuclear weapon?
We had a deal. He's trying to get back into that deal. And he withdrew from that.
They were violating
and not only that, now he's trying to have another deal.
Bribery and appease.
Yeah. Again, what do you want from Scott Jennings? Representative Pat Harrigan, he had one of the weirdest, even crazier than Jennings, one of the weirdest spins, basically saying that we have to escalate the problem before we can solve it. Play that clip.
Be with you. Look, this is certainly a dynamic environment, right? We're trying to lower the temperature of global conflict while simultaneously kind of raising it here in order to lower it. And so,
boy, finally, another person has to get into it. Even Kayleigh McEnany, who goes on and says that every dictator better be on notice now. I guess she's talking to you, Putin. Play the clip.
Precisely. Every dictator in the world is on notice now.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. So look, in conclusion, as I wrote in my Substack, let's have the debate. Let's open the floor. Let's get some classified briefings going, the military assessments, the intelligence reports, and let's make decisions that honor our Constitution, that protect our service members, and that help to keep American interests at the forefront. This moment doesn't have to be a prelude to war, doesn't have to be used by Democrats or Republicans as a war cry against Trump. It can be the start of the hard, necessary work for peace. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.